What is going on, everyone? Rex Beba back again, and today I have Otaku Underground with me,
What's going on?
as it's becoming a regular occurrence these days. And you know what? He's helping me put stuff on the channel and vice versa. Because you know what? My heart's just not in it these days. But in some instances, it kind of is. But then it's just like it's a whole thing. However, in this instance, when it comes to like these game awards, man, I don't know what it is lately. These game awards keep becoming more and more, I don't know, lacking for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And when it comes to this year's lineup, when you have DLC as a
So
contender
we just gonna jump right into
for the game
it.
of the year category, let me talk to you, Jeff, real quick. Let me talk to you real quick, Jeff. You've been sliding off the mark real bad lately, man. I don't know what your deal is, man. If we talking DLC, if DLC is going to be the category for game of the year, um, Phantom Liberty of Cyberpunk, which literally like other than Edge Runners pretty much resurrecting that whole game, really, and really them having to do a 2.0 for the entire game itself, that alone should be a game of the year category if we're going to do this. Where's Alan Wake's category for all their DLC, huh? Where's that at? Yeah, we're going straight for the neck on this one because this
So
is just
when
ridiculous.
did that come out though? Cause there
Last year.
no, I'm talking about the DLC because there is just to give some context, the cutoff date. Let me see here if I can find it. I think the cutoff date is November 22nd.
Nah, Alan Wake had all of its like DLC out like by
So it's
October.
it's already out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that should have been. So he's already kind of gotten us in here. So I guess we can go ahead and talk about the game of the year.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
just
the big one that everybody is like the big controversy. So what he was saying about the DLC, yeah, uh, pretty much they added this rule in Broken Games HD. He basically used the what you call it, the wayback machine, and to see where basically Jeff added this new stipulation where it's like, yeah, DLCs, expansion packs, remakes, they're all eligible. So now that pretty much justifies them pretty much putting up Elden Ring as nominee here. So as you can see here, we have the six nominees: Astrobot, Bautro, Black Myth, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy VII, and then Metaphor ReFantasio. And a lot of people have already speculated that okay, as soon as it was announced that he was gonna be allowing DLC, everybody was like, okay, yeah, this is definitely a ploy to get from software another shot, another chance at getting some awards. And lo and behold, come Monday morning, come today, we see Elden Ring right here.
hmm.
Like this is ridiculous. Like
I'm
if I was a
I'm
game developer, I would be first of all, I'd be pissed off at just seeing these nominees, especially if I worked on a AAA game. Because why the heck is we'll get to this one right here, Baltro, but DLC and expansion pack really? Like people have already, I've seen people already trying to defend this. Oh well, it's big. It's as big as a game, as big as a normal sized game, and it has all this content in it. Well, if that was the case, it could have just made it a sequel, and then it wouldn't, we wouldn't have a problem. But it's DLC. This is game of the year, not DLC of the year. And matter of fact, they could have just had a section for that. But like I said, I'll you know what because I don't want to talk too much. I'll give you
mhm.
a chance to speak right quick because I don't want to talk too much.
It's fine. It's fine. If we're talking about Baltro, like for real, Silent Hill 2 remake should be where Baltro is. And this is someone who has seen a bunch of analyzation videos on Silent Hill 2 over the years and never actually experienced it until the remake. The remake was probably one of my favorite experiences of any game this year. It's definitely on top five for me because of just how much Blooper Team actually put the work into this game. And yeah, it didn't go the uncanny route like the original, and that's a good thing because it made it more fucked up, if nothing else. And people, considering that they were backing on Blooper Team throughout the entire
Yeah, I was about
since
to
the
add it.
first
I was about to
trailer,
add that. Yep, I was about to say that. A lot of
the,
people
the
were definitely down on Blooper Team. Thought it was gonna suck because of their past games. Because of, I forgot the name of the other joints they did, but the other like
the
Silent
medium.
Hill. Yeah, that because that was Silent Hill inspired. And people were already saying, from day one, as soon as they showed that first gameplay trailer, I want to say at State of the Play, I think last year, everybody was saying,
Mm,
"Oh, the game's gonna suck," and to see it come out and get like 90s and all these high scores, and then to just not see it here, but instead we see a freaking poker game, a roguelike poker game. Like I was
I
saying
hate that.
earlier, if you, like I was saying earlier, if I was a game developer, I'd be pissed. Really?
Exactly.
Like I get that Jeff wants to highlight these indie games, and if I go, well, let me see, because he has two indie categories. Let me see what it is. You can talk for a second. Let me see what it is.
It's this thing. It's the thing. As someone who's
Oh, here it
finally
is.
experienced
Okay.
Silent Hill 2 for like the first time, like actually, like getting the differences that they actually did change for the good of it, it's like, you know what? This should definitely be on this list. Not a damn roguelike poker game. Okay. Like even the new endings that they did for this game is just crazy to me. So
So,
to see them like be snubbed by this, it just sucks. Considering how many awards it's gotten, how much praise it's gotten, and all that. But go ahead.
two things. Well, okay. So just to follow up what I was saying earlier, um, so there's two categories. There's best independent game, and then there's best debut indie game. So you have two indie categories. Why the
Wow.
heck would you put it? Why the heck would you? Because I know, for anybody who's gonna point it out, this isn't the first time he put an indie game for game of the year. He does that like pretty much every year now. But I've always maintained that these smaller indie games don't deserve a big stage like this, especially to be standing shoulder to shoulder with a triple A, big budget game. That's insulting. I feel like that's insulting. Like we have
Because it
best
is.
independent game here, Botro. You have Animal Well and Neva and some other crap I've never heard of. But
Okay, so it's on there twice. Great.
yeah, so no, and it's not only here, cause hold on, let me see.
Don't tell me it's
Best
not a third category.
best independent game and then best debut indie game. I believe. Yep, it's there too, and Animal Well as well. So you have it in two spots in the Plucky Spire. Which that game looked like. If you've seen some gameplay of the Plucky Squire, that it has a cool concept. I think it just, if I remember correctly, like it's just too. I think it was like too handholdy and just like too easy, but it's
Ah,
pretty cool concept. But
yeah.
back to the point, it's just like you have it in two spots. You have it highlighted. You did not need to put that as a game of the year category. And for a poker game, like what? For a roguelike poker game, I'm just so confused. It's like why? What? Like, look, I'm not even saying that the game is bad. It's just like that's insulting. Like I like card games. I like Yu-Gi-Oh. I like Mega Man Battle Network. I like different card games and stuff, but poker though, roguelike poker, nah, man. But going back to what you were saying with Silent Hill, because I know we're gonna both bring it up. There's this shouldn't they. In addition to not having Elden Ring because that is DLC, they could have had a separate category. Everybody has said this: separate category for DLC, separate category for remakes. Because so I posted earlier, and I'm just looking at my phone here just to like remind myself of what I put here. So there's multiple remakes. We were talking a little bit before we started recording. You mentioned some. But like Persona 3, Final Fantasy 7 remake, Shadow Generations, Paper Mario, and then obviously Silent Hill. Um, there was enough there for a remake category, and I want to say last year there was enough
Dead
for that
Rising
too.
remake.
Oh yeah, that too. You mentioned that too. Yeah, Dead Rising. There was enough for a remake, a remaster category. That's what he should have been doing. And for anyone thinking that I'm mad over remakes being here, just for just now, like I'm just now getting mad because I don't think Final Fantasy VII deserves to be there too. Because I know a lot of people try to make the argument, oh yeah, it's a reimagining. No, it's a remake. It's a sequel to a remake. It's still a remake. I'm not saying it's a
It's a
bad
part
game. It's
2 of whatever they're going for with this one,
yeah,
so
it's still a remake. I felt the same way when Resident Evil 2 kept getting nominated for stuff. I'm like, dog, what are we doing here? That doesn't deserve to be there. I would have said the same thing if Dead Space would have got nominated last year. It doesn't need to be here. They don't need to be here. So
hmm.
like the way I'm seeing it, it's a lot of wasted slots here. Final Fantasy 7. Look, Final Fantasy 7 gonna get his shine in the RPG category possibly. So why is that here? Metaphor ReFantasio. This is the only game, just from what I've seen. I haven't
Mhm.
played it yet, but from what I've seen of this game so far with the gameplay, I'm like, this is the only one that I feel like deserves to be up here. Look, Elden Ring, we already know the deal with that. That's DLC. I feel like this game is an industry plant, like from software, and this needs to be said. It's something strange going on with the industry when it comes to licking from software and Miyazaki's boots, man.
Or glazing them, as the
Yeah,
kids call it these days,
glazing. I saw so many people. Man, they gotta stop glazing this. They gotta stop glazing this company. Yeah, but they gotta like, dude, from software and I kept seeing comments like this all day. They had their chance. They had their time in the sun.
they had their wins.
They had their wins, and they would have even more wins if you would like give them that DLC category. They could win that if you want to praise them for something. But to, like I said, not to repeat myself, but it's insulting. I would like I said, if I was a dev, I'd be insulted. But and then Black Myth. So people, there was some weird like there was some weird, and this could be just YouTube grifters. There were people just pretending like some of these outlets are trying to like not vote Black Myth and some other games like Stellar Blade and stuff. Like, oh, they're not gonna vote for it because of whatever controversy there was with the game. And I feel like this game at least had like a maybe like a 45% chance of maybe getting in there. But as soon as I heard that Elden Ring was gonna get in there, I was like, okay, yeah, that's taking Black Myth's spot. So I'm surprised to see them uh you know right beside each other. I feel like Black Myth should have just took Elden Ring's spot. But yeah, Black Myth that can get out of here, and I'll tell y'all later. I'll go into more of that later as to why I don't think this needs to be here. But it's basically, and I get so irritated when I keep seeing people try to go with that narrative. I don't know if you're familiar with the devs pretty much acting like, oh, it's not a Souls game, it's not this. Every time, before launch and even with the previews, they kept switching up. Oh, it's a boss rush game. It's not really a Souls game, but it has some little Souls influence. Like it's a Souls game. At the end of the day, compare this to Devil May Cry. Compare this to Bayonetta. It's not a regular action game. You cannot call this a regular action game. Like it's more akin to an Elden Ring, to a Dark Souls, to even a Sekiro type of game. But yeah,
Mhm.
that doesn't deserve to be there. Did you play that or any of these other games?
I can tell you right now, um, I have not. I have
Okay, yeah,
not.
man. And full disclosure, I haven't played none of these either, man. I,
It's
I
been
know some
too
people. I know some
is
people gonna sit up there and try to discount us for not playing all these games. Listen, we have been playing a bunch of games, especially myself. I think I've done a lot better this year, and I've
you
been
have, and
playing dang near 40-hour games. Like
coming from
people be talking
okay.
about
Let me
Final
pull back the
Fantasy
curtain.
being long.
Stop,
The game I'm playing right now is long as heck. I got 40
stop it,
hours in it.
stop it, stop it. Let me pull back the curtain for a second, okay? As someone who knows this guy and knows his like track record with video games, he's done a lot better than what he usually does, okay? And in my case, oh my god, what I have been playing, and I've even been dipping into some indie titles nowadays too. But when you have a job, man, it's like you gotta be like, okay, use your time wisely is what I'm saying.
Man,
So
like pretty much when you're doing the adult thing, you gotta make some choices, especially with these games nowadays. Like every game up here, when you think about it, every game up here outside of like Astrobot and Bautro, these are like 40, 50, 60 hour games. And
again,
Metaphor is probably like 100. And I keep hearing, for all the praise I hear people, heap upon Final Fantasy VII, every time they talk about the remake, they talk about Rebirth, I keep hearing people talk about how dragged out the story is, how
hmm,
bogged down, just how padded the game time is. And that's what makes me kind of hesitant to touch it. So, but yeah, these mad long games. And then we have Astrobot.
go
Oh,
ahead.
Astrobot.
You know what.
I
Okay.
can't
Let me get back. Let
believe
me
these.
give me. No, wait, stop. I know what you're gonna do. Stop it. Let me stop it. Stop it. I know what you're gonna do. Just like I like the cameos. All right, that's it. That's it. Now we'll let him. Now we'll let
That
him go
look,
off.
man, I
I'm gonna
forgot
let him
where
go
I
off.
forgot if it was an article or something I read. Somebody put it perfectly. This game, as far as the cameos and stuff from PlayStation's past, people say, "Oh, it's a celebration of the past IPs, the beloved IPs." No, it's a mausoleum.
Damn.
You're walking through a graveyard, bunch of dead IPs that Sony don't care about no more. A lot of them. I know they got some more recent representation in there before anybody tries to correct me, but yeah, they have a lot of dead IPs. Jack and Dexter, Parappa the Rapper. I've seen gameplay of Astrobot dressed up as these characters, and it pisses me the heck off. Oh, y'all. So now we care about these characters. Now y'all care about them. So you mean to tell me y'all spend I don't know how much money promoting that, and people talking about, oh man, these are the small little type of games we want from Sony. No, we want Jack and Dexter, we want Sly Cooper, and I get it. Sucker Punch and Naughty Dog. Some people act like, oh yeah, man, they're too above that nowadays. They're above that. They've grown past that. We're not like Nintendo. We're not gonna keep with Mario, and all this other, they old franchises. Cause Nintendo they stay with their stuff. They ain't never gonna stop making Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong. But PlayStation moves on. But even so, Sony has a lot of studios that can still work on those properties. Or even Team Asobi themselves, they should have been working on Jack and Daxter. This should have been a project this could have been a PlayStation All Stars style platformer. They could have done something else with this.
Mm.
I have been so annoyed seeing this freaking generic looking freaking mascot, dude. You know what
Just
this is?
being
It's PlayStation's version of a minion.
damn.
It's PlayStation's version of a minion. I don't know if you saw their last. I think it was like their last state of play where they had like that little goofy animation, and I'm like,
Mhm.
dog. I wanna every time I see this ugly looking thing, I want to strangle it because my god, it's the whole thing. I've been itching to say this. This game ain't nothing but a corporate nostalgia bait cash grabs, very soulless. This thing has no personality. This is what they choose to have as their mascot. They had so many opportunities for Crash, for Naughty, for not Naughty Dog, Jack and Dexter, so many other properties, and even Sackboy. Sackboy should have been it, but yeah, man, I'm ranting, dog. But yeah, Astrobot shouldn't have been here. Again, look, let's be real about the industry for a second. A lot of these people that are voting, the from IGN, Eurogamer, kind of funny, Easy Allies, all of them.
Shill Miller.
A lot of those people, yeah, Greg Miller, what you showed me earlier, because Greg Miller put out a tweet defending the whole Elden Ring DLC thing. But
I love
a lot of these
it.
people, they want cozy games. They don't want nothing too challenging. They like this little. They look at Astrobot and be like, "Oh man, it's so charming. It's we're going back to our heyday of Sony when it's not. It's not. The only thing, well, like I said, man, I'm going in on a lot of,
On a
I'm just
tangent.
ranting here, but I'm gonna say a little bit what I have to say, but
No, pop off, man, because this you holding this in. I can feel it. So go ahead. Go ahead.
dude, so I'm a switch because we can go to what is it, best art direction. So for best art direction, just to keep it moving here, Astrobot, Black Myth, Elden Ring, Metaphor, and Never. So I got a lot to say about this one, and just
Never.
to kind of clarify what it is, um, outstanding creative technical achievement and artistic design and animation. Um, why is Astrobot here? I mean, I guess some people like the art style and stuff, and the graphics look good. That's one thing I won't hate on the graphics, the particle effects and stuff like that. From a technical standpoint, I'm not gonna argue with that. But we're talking about art direction. Why the heck is Black Myth, Wukong, and Elden Ring here? I never understood because I know Elden Rings had best art direction before, I believe. I think I got nominated last time around, and I'm still confused by that. This game graphically and even when it comes to the art, it just looks like Dark Souls. It looks
Hmm.
like Dark Souls. It looks like Bloodborne, even though Bloodborne's a little bit more gothic. It just looks like standard From Software. Why the heck is that there? And then Black Myth. Black Myth looks like Wulong. It looks like Sekiro. It looks like a bunch of other Souls like or games that are very much close to it. It doesn't look unique. I said that from the first time I saw it. I'm like, this doesn't look unique. The graphics look very good. I'm not gonna deny that. But art direction, no. The only thing that deserves to be on this list is freaking metaphor to me. I look at that and it kind of the art style kind of reminds me of what's that game? Fire Emblem. It kind of
Hmm.
reminds me of that a little bit. But that's the only game I feel like deserves to be up here. Never. I don't. What is this? This is the artsy fartsy games, and they had to put it up there. But
I looked it
what
up.
do you
It's
think?
like okay. And I'm like okay. Just shrugged at it. I'm like oh
Like
all
I
right.
said, these people in this industry, they want these little cozy games. This crap that ain't gonna push back on them too much. Something light for them to play that they can turn on the easy mode. But what do you think? Do you think there's any snubs here? I'm probably blanking on some stuff that probably should have been up here, but just off the top of my head, Persona 3.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of them.
Persona 3
That
Reload.
definitely
Like, why the heck on that here?
that's definitely one of them. But yeah, I'm kind of drawing a blank here. But if I had to
I
like give
just
this
like if
any
I had to throw another one in there, just for fun, Paper Mario. Even though that's a
okay,
remake, but hey, Jeff says that it's okay, so Paper Mario, why not?
I don't know what's worse, him or his obsession with Hideo.
Kojima.
I don't know what's worse. Yeah, I don't know what's worse these days with him. I really don't. I don't know what pisses me off more. I genuinely do not know what's worse about him these days. Oh my god, look at best score of music. What the fuck?
Okay, let's okay, you want to go to that one next? Best score in music. Where is that? Oh, let me see.
Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2. I don't care, man. Akira Yamaoka
Okay, best score in
brought it.
music. Okay,
Let me get this in right now. That man, regardless of how old he gets, he brings it every time. He remastered and remade all of those daggone tracks, and even did newer ones for the Silent Hill remake. If he don't take this, something is wrong. Something is wrong as
dude,
hell. And
dude.
where is Persona 3's
I was
nominee
about
at?
to, I was about to mention that.
Stellar
Even
Blade?
to this day,
Why is
dude, I have
Astrobot
not
here
played
again?
Persona. Dude, I have not played Persona 3 yet. Persona music, like Persona music, is so
Oh my
good
god.
that you don't even have to be a fan of the games. I literally knew nothing about Persona at first. Not this year, but I'm talking about just in the past. I knew nothing about it. My first introduction to it, besides from what you showed me back years ago, before I even knew about it. But some of my first introduction to it was the Persona soundtrack. Persona 5, then getting into 3. The soundtrack can get you into the game. That's how good the soundtrack is. Persona 3 soundtrack was so freaking good. I'm still listening to the music to this day. I'm still humming some of the songs to this day. And I haven't even cracked open the game yet.
Oh
It
my
is
god.
that freaking good. Why is it not here? Why the heck is Astrobot here? It has
I will
that
tell you right now. I will say this right now.
only
Lotus
only
Juice
thing
back in
I
the
have freaking heard anyone freaking sing, anyone freaking talk about with that game is that dumb song. I don't even know how it goes. We are Astrobot or whatever bull crap. I'm like, what is this? Why is this here? And like, okay, Stellar Blade. From what I played of the demo, that music, you can tell that they were very inspired by Nier. So this deserves to be up there. So I'm glad to see that. I'm really glad to see that. Metaphor, I've seen. I like a few weeks ago, I finally listened to the battle music. People were not lying about that. That chanting in the battle music, that joint kind of go hard. That joint kind
that
of go
is
hard.
definitely Shin Megami Tensei 4 type shit. Then that yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That they definitely took the inspiration from that.
And so you have cause you said you played remake, right?
Yeah.
But you just didn't play rebirth. I think a lot, and people
Uh,
not gonna like me saying this, but I think a lot of Final Fantasy VII love for this game. It's really nostalgia. I think it is a lot of it is nostalgia. They're probably playing a lot on a lot of that nostalgia with the tracks, because I haven't heard anybody really just gush over any of the tracks in this game or in the other ones, other than saying it was just like in the childhood or whatever, bringing them back to that time playing the game. But other than that, it's just like, why is this here?
mm.
So yeah, those two omissions. Oh yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog. Before I forget, Shadow Generations. That soundtrack should have been in there. It had all the old songs and stuff, and some new ones, some new remixes. Not sure why that's not here either.
You know damn well why.
No, no,
you
no.
know
Enlighten the audience. Enlighten the audience.
they always got something against the hedgehog, man. Even when they're doing right, it's like, oh well, we just don't shit. We can't have that. At
So
least I feel.
now that I brought this up, I need to go ahead and bring this up also. So, best
Oh,
family game, right? We got
oh no.
Astrobot, Princess Peach, Super Mario Jamboree, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and the Plucky Squire. So I've always had a problem with this category. And I'm glad somebody else mentioned this earlier because I was like, oh my god, you nailed it, dude. And so I gotta definitely bring this up here. Why is this called best family game? This should be called best like best family friendly game or best children game or something because that's what it is. And I always look at this as like a free Nintendo category. So if they have a weak year, at least they can have some type of representation. Most of these games,
Jamboree?
most of these games you cannot play with your family unless you're passing the remote. So why is it in best? Why is it called best family? Is Astrobot 2 players? Is there a
Not to
co-op
my
mode?
knowledge. Not to my
I don't
knowledge,
think there
no.
is. Same thing with Princess Peach. Same thing with Zelda. And I think Plucky Squire you might be able to play with 2 players. But none of these are family games except for Super Mario. So this should have been again a children category or a what you call it family oriented thing. It's get best game appropriate for family play. But it's like again, they're not playing because when you're saying family play, I'm thinking okay, people you got the mother, father, and kids and stuff all gathered around playing the game. Not everybody like they can't do that with most of these games. So this category doesn't make sense. But man, out of
Yeah,
out of all these, the obvious choice is Super Mario. Super Mario is like based on what the category is supposed to be, unless it's supposed to be just a children's category, then I would still say Super Mario.
yeah,
Because I heard
yeah,
that Princess Peach game wasn't that great.
yeah. Same. Other than that, nah. Yeah, just give it to Mario Party Jamboree, I guess. It's a like you said, it's a free Nintendo get out of jail free card and get out of selling narcotics cards. So fuck it, give it to them.
Okay, so I think we need to get into because I'm gonna kind of skip ahead here. Best fighting game. Okay, this one
Oh
surprised me.
God,
This one surprised me. Okay, so we got Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Tekken
surprising.
8, Multiverses, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. I forgot all about that.
Definitely surprising.
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. You notice a major fighting game is missing? Notice anything here? Why in the world is Mortal Kombat not here?
Oh, I can tell you that. I can tell you why.
Please enlighten me.
Because Mortal Kombat 1 has not been shit in a while. That's why.
Oh, really? I thought people were liking it.
No, no, man. If it wasn't for the
They just put out what's his face
yeah,
yeah,
Ghostface.
Ghostface.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me school you here for a second. Ever since they Ed Boon and his infinite wisdom went all the way to just reset the series after the events of what was it 11 and one is what we have now, and now it's just become like a Fortnite free for all of who can like be DLC and shit. Uh, yeah, it hasn't helped them. They don't know what the hell they're doing anymore with this. I will tell you right now with a straight face, and this is someone who has played this, who has gotten into this series from X to where we are now. I know, it's a crime. I have not played the knife one with Kratos on PlayStation 3. I
You
know,
didn't even play
crime.
that
Woe
one?
is me. I haven't played. I never played that one. I should. I need
What?
to.
Like I
I
stopped
never.
after I think I stopped at like 11. That's the one I didn't get. I just stopped.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
just
like that. I didn't like that stuff with the new generation. That was whack. That was
yeah.
whack.
So that being said, once they did the first like Mortal Kombat 1, it hasn't hit. Like I would say this is probably the most tame and cleanest one that they've done ever since I got into it from X from 10. So that being said, it just has not done it. They're just relying so much on just like, okay, who can we get for DLC and shit now that it's just
I mean,
like
well, they do that all the time. They have
I
those
know,
like
but in
those
this
guest
case, it's like in this
things.
case, it's more like really Homelander, Omni Man, Peacemaker. I get Peacemaker because yeah, he's on the WB payroll. I get that. I get that shit.
And the
But
Omni Man
Ghostface,
makes sense though. I mean, any. I mean, they just pick like real brutal characters.
I know, but at the same time, this is probably the most brutality this game has seen in a minute. It's just like
Honestly, they did
okay,
an injustice. Those would have been. They would have probably had to tame him down, but those would have probably been some cool guest character picks.
people want an Injustice 3,
Yeah,
not
that's
more
what I
Mortal
want out of
Kombat.
them, though. To be honest, but
Wrapping that up. Um, that's kind of the reason why it's not on here. You could literally go type in Mortal Kombat 1 sucks or
yeah,
whatever
I
like
heard the only thing I heard was like the online is not that good. Like the matchmaking, it was something with the matchmaking people had problems with.
mhm.
That's the only thing I heard about it. But it's funny that Jeff had instated that whole remake rule and everything. Cause see now I see why he did it. This is one of the reasons why he did it. Cause now Marvel vs. Capcom can be in there to fill spots. Like he honestly be putting in filler games each year.
He
Cause
makes up his own fucking rules. This is
you
more
remember
fair than ever.
they voted in Jump Force
Oh, oh,
and One Punch Man one year.
yeah, I remember. Yeah,
So
I remember
That's
T's
how I
video
know
about that too.
these are like filler. Like this is filler, and multiverses. Hate to say it, but that's filler. That game, they really WB ruined that game by canceling, well, not really canceling it, but like taking down the beta, the quote unquote beta of the game. Like,
Yep.
come on, it was the real thing. It was so dumb. Like, I was telling my brother about this, or texting him rather, the other day. I was like, man, they killed it by taking it down. He thinks otherwise. He thinks, well, people would have still been waiting for it or whatever. But they really killed the momentum of that game. They should have just kept it going and then just did all their stuff in the background that they needed to do. But out of all of these, man, I would just had to default to Tekken 8, even though I haven't played it, but I played Tekken in the past. I mean, it's a good game. I I'm just one of those people like I know Marvel vs. Capcom is a really good game. We both have history with it, but I mean that's a remake or a well, not a remake, but a port. Um, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This I'm sorry, man.
Oh Lord. Oh
There's some
Lord.
people I saw some people today who were like, oh why isn't Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Game of the Year? Why isn't it nominated? I'm like, what?
Look, look,
Do you
look,
have you
you
not
look,
seen the state of this game?
look, you dummies. Look. I'm gonna
Ninety
put y'all on
five
blast right
percent, what was
now.
it? 95% of the player base is dipped
I'm
on
gonna put y'all
Steam.
on blast right now. Y'all need Jesus. Y'all need Jesus if y'all really think this is a 10 out of 10 game. Y'all do not get out or even play enough fighting games to even give this a 10 out of 10. Okay?
This
That tells me one
that
thing.
thing balanced.
And this is coming from someone who is 100%ed this
Yeah,
daggone thing to get the
he
plat.
has the platinum in the
Do
game, and I
not
have like
try to.
what 30 hours or something.
Yeah, so don't come at me and act like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. If this isn't online with people picking Gogeta, Brawly, or any
People
kind of
just picking the
variation of
same
Goku or
thing
Vegeta,
characters.
or any kind of variation of Goku or Vegeta, it is either one of those four, okay? Or these two. It
Or
don't
using
matter.
spam tactics like they obviously nerfed Yajirobe.
Yajiro.
I heard Videl is really broken. I heard she's
Oh, for
really mad
fuck's
broken. Like a lot of the human characters, what's his name?
unbalanced.
Yamcha,
It's always
uh,
been unbalanced. Except
Chaozu.
now it's always been kind of unbalanced. Except now it's like we have online and they can just patch
Yeah,
this
now the
shit now.
online actually works, unlike in the Wii and PS2 era, where that joint was dang near super laggy, so you can't really enjoy it.
Yeah, and with this story mode, that this
Yeah,
shit story mode that they put in,
that's another thing. That's story mode,
y'all
man.
gonna sit here and tell
With the
me that
dang
this is a 10 out of 10 game?
slideshows and stuff, slideshows and poorly balanced AI just across the board, and the way you
Instead of
have
giving us
to.
an actual instead of giving us an actual timer on what to do
Yep, I was
or
just
beat
about to
said
mention
person
that.
in this set of time, or this set of time or whatever, so this pathway can activate or whatever the hell. It's like no, you have to beat them in like 10 seconds or get their health down to
Right,
like in like 10 seconds. Otherwise, it's just gonna keep going and going, and then maybe just maybe, oh, you have like four people to fight and it's just one of you. If you
right.
fail, too bad for you. Suck to suck.
Unfair conditions.
So it sucks to suck. Oh yeah. Look at you, you little bitch. You want to try to put this shit on easy? Guess what? Nothing's gonna matter because if you put it out on easy, nothing is gonna happen. So guess what? No alternate pathways for you. Get your ass kicked.
Right. I think it's ridiculous. Like they should have had, and I've said this before. They should have had multiple difficulties for the story mode and the what if stuff. From what you told me and stuff, there, I've only seen a couple, like two or three of them. So as far as me playing the game, I've only seen a few of them.
Gohan Black.
There's some good ones. Yeah, the best one is Gohan Black. Spoilers, but other than that, I mean, this wasn't really people are gonna hate for me. People are gonna hate for me to say this, but this it wasn't worth the 17-year wait for Budokai Tenkaichi 4. It wasn't worth the wait. It's 7 out of 10, but yeah, I don't think this. Long story short, yeah, this game doesn't deserve to be here.
You know what? I'll put my hat in after all this time because this is probably like hopefully the last time I talk about this. It probably won't be. Probably at some point next year, I'll probably just finally just be like, "Yo, this wasn't worth it," but it wasn't. Honestly, I have to just like kind of, I'm just with you on this one. It was not worth
Like
this
even if you
seven. This
even like even if you like the game, man, at least be able to admit that this thing has problems.
had problems. It had gaps. It had holes at the bottom of the ship. At least say that. This was not perfect by any means of any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't.
And see, the thing
It
is
was
with the
either
with the rest of
good.
these, I haven't heard nothing bad about as far as like Grand Blue and Tekken 8. I heard that that's pretty solid. So no complaints with Grand Blue and Tekken 8. I knew they weren't gonna nominate this last time because it got so I think it like missed the cutoff date. So I'm glad that they nominated that though.
What we need, what we genuinely need, and this is probably the last thing we gonna like talk about like Dragon Ball wise. Uh, we need to move away from like the whole Goku going through all the fucking sagas. We need to get away from this. I think this, and because of my dumbass going through Kakarot already, like prep and finish before I even touched Sparking Zero, that did not help. So I'm already like, okay, we gotta do this shit
Yeah, we
again, and
definitely
even
got
some
to get away
variants.
from going through
I'm
really all the
at,
traditional sagas
at this point, I am
because
so
it
spent
got it
on.
got old.
I'm spent on like going through the saga, every saga again. Even if you put the super shit in here, which I don't, I'm not a fan of. I'm not.
I
It's
I
like
honestly rather
okay,
go. I honestly rather go through that, and they didn't even go through all of that.
they didn't. They did not. They did not. It's okay. Regardless, we need something like Dragon Ball Multiverse or something like that. Look that up whenever you have a chance, or just like some real actual fan ideas and good ones. I'm not talking about this crap shit shot that y'all like to do. No, I'm talking like the actual stuff, like actually good, and not like this phony baloney garbage that y'all like sub and say like, oh, this is gas, this is great, this is good shit, this is that, this is no. No, because I know how y'all are. Y'all hype for any transformation or whatever. Yeah, I don't care. I'm putting that the target on my back saying this shit. Y'all know how y'all are. This is why we're in this state to begin with. But yeah, that being said, we need to do better than this whole going through all the sagas, saving timelines, doing whatever the hell. We need actual what if scenarios, like actual honest to God what if scenarios. Because if the old what if scenarios were good, what's this game's excuse? And this is 17 years after Budokai 3. What's the excuse here? This should have been better.
Okay, just to move on here. Best RPG. Of course, they had to put Elden Ring in there. Dragon's Dogma, Final Fantasy 7. Why the heck is Yakuza here?
Because
Metaphor
if it
Refantasio.
because Infinite Wealth is technically an RPG, it has RPG the turns
Like
and shit.
I know this is it's not like the other ones. I know that, but I'm just like, why is this here? I'm like,
Dra-
dude. First of
give it to
all,
Dragon's Dogma.
Elden
Give
Ring should not be here.
give it to Dragon's
That
Dogma
is
too. This
that
is
is
coming from someone who's
DLC.
played it.
No, no, no. So first of all, Yakuza, get that out of here. Elden Ring, get that out of here. What should have been up here? Grand Blue and Persona.
Persona
Persona
3.
3. Grand Blue definitely got snubbed. I would have to default give it to Grand Blue because that's the one I played. But that game's combat is so good that now I play like other action RPGs, and like I played Visions of Mana, for example. Like I remember seeing somebody earlier mention Visions of Mana. That game was so disappointing. I bought that game as a birthday gift to myself when it came out, and I was very disappointed. That combat and that affinity system, I told you before, right? Where like in most
Mm-hmm.
games you'll have like, okay, uh water beats fire, and in Visions of Mana it's like water beats fire, but also fire beats water, and then it's like what? And then there's also enemies in the game where it's like it's hard to tell what element they are, and so it makes it hard to kind of take advantage of the different elemental advantages and stuff, and then attacks just feel so dang weak. Like I said, Grand Blue spoil. I feel like Grand Blue just spoiled me with its combat. Cause like
Mm-hmm.
now all these action games, every time I hit, every time I hit an enemy, I don't feel it. There's like no weight behind it. Like I think the action in that game was good. I think the story wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was good. It was decent, but I thought the gameplay was really good. So I would give it to Grand Blue if it was up here. But I guess I would have to default to Metaphor. I think Metaphor should take it, and maybe it will. Cause I mean I've seen a lot of positive impressions on it.
If it takes it, I wouldn't be surprised. But since I haven't played it yet, and Dragon's Dogma 2 is
Yeah, I'm
is
surprised
like,
you haven't played the demo. Like I had the
dude,
demo
I
downloaded, but of course I haven't played it yet because it's so. I've heard that joint is so long. Like I've heard
that's
people say,
why
I heard people say that they like put in like 8 hours or something, 8 10 hours, and just the
that's
demo
a big
alone.
ass that's a big ass demo. Then
Yeah,
okay.
I'm like. That's why I'm like. I'm not gonna buy the game because I was gonna buy it the same time I bought Shadow, but I was like, look, let me go ahead and beat the demo first.
Right, but
uh,
yeah.
okay,
Wow,
this
this
little. Oh, go ahead.
these lists are getting just worse and worse the more I look at it.
Yeah, so
Um,
we have pointless categories like games for impact, which is basically just the SJW, freaking soft bull crap. Oh,
okay.
for a thought provoking game with a pro social meaning or message,
Oh God.
some bull crap category, pretty much.
You know what? Let me get this out the way because this actually involves one of the picks that I reviewed this year. Best sports, and I know this is neither of the category that this is the category that neither of us really mess with, but this happens to have one of the picks that I am actually familiar with. So F1 24, esports, FC 25, NBA 2K 25, Top Spin 2K 25, and WWE 2K
What the
24.
heck is
This
that cover? That's the first time I'm seeing
I think this is the first time I've ever seen WWE make it on a best sports category. So that alone,
that. It's a
I'm gonna
filler
get.
pick.
I know, but I don't care. I hope this does get it, even though like WB has 2K24 has trash servers. If you guys know, you guys know. These their servers suck, and to see this even on here at all, I'm like, who did 2K grease? Did
Right,
they grease?
you know a popular game is missing here. Madden. Where the heck is Madden? People not messing
Oh,
with. Oh yeah, you know what? Not only Madden. I heard people say that college football game. I mean, obviously I'm not into sports, but I listen to a lot of
yeah, but
podcasts
people
and
have been
stuff.
waiting for that one. People
And
have been waiting for that one. So
my
that's actually
brother,
weird
my
that it's not on
cousin,
here.
my family members, they be playing it, be playing Madden and all these sports games. So I'm like, where is where is college football? Cause
Considering how
yeah,
people were hyping that up, yeah, it's
yeah,
surprising that
cause
that's not on here either.
that was one of the reason Xbox was selling those what do you call it the Series S's. They was selling a whole bunch of them jokers
Yeah,
because of that game. So I'm like, why is that not here? Like, okay, I understand FIFA, football. Well, they call it football. Soccer is very popular. But why is I ain't never heard nobody talk about this F1 game. I didn't even know this was a thing. Same thing with Top Spin. So I'm like, how do you not have Madden and in college football? That's strange. That's real strange. Unless I mean, again, we're not sports people, so maybe there's something wrong with those games that we're not privy to. That's just weird.
it is.
Let's see. I guess we can do best adaptation since you kind of brought it up earlier before we started. Um,
Okay, let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. Okay, Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon Yakuza, and Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft. Now, we both looked at Fallout. We both agreed that
no,
it was pretty good.
I didn't see it yet. I'm sorry, I didn't see it
Brother,
yet. I've been waiting. I've been waiting. I've had to wait. Actually, it's funny enough. I might actually watch Yakuza as much trash as I've talked about that series. I'm like the
Uh-huh.
game. I mean, it looks. The thing is that series it looks serious. Unlike the games is so goofy. It's tonal whiplash for me as far as the games goes. Because I know there are serious parts in it, but then you have parts where they're just doing goofy stuff. You have the main character singing at the karaoke bar and they doing all this weird crap. But the that series look all right. But go ahead.
Oh my god. All right. Since now I know that I'm the only one who's watched any of these,
I mean, I feel like people have already spoiled the show so much for me though. That's another thing.
I'd still recommend watching Fallout, if anything.
I
Um,
was gonna watch that Tomb Raider, but after what you told me, I don't know. I
uh,
don't know. I don't even want
no,
to. They did my
I
girl dirty.
no, no, they did. They did. I don't know what they did with Laura. Like that was not Laura from what I've seen. They should have
Man, I
adapted more
played
from like
all
the
three
older game.
of the Tomb Raider games, man. Like I have a love for the character now. So you telling me they made her into a man? They made her bisexual or gay or something? I'm just like,
No, no, I didn't say that. I know. I said like they are on the cusp of making her like that because
oh,
like
trust me, they're
they
going to. This
I
day and age,
okay.
they're gonna do that crap. And it's so weird how the industry is so not just the games industry, it's just really the entertainment industry so obsessed with, oh well, at least when it comes to like fictional stuff with like video games and stuff, is like they're trying to desexualize women and trying to make them look manly, because it does seem like to be. And I know some people hate to see other YouTubers talk about this conspiracy of these people making sexually attractive characters more manly and stuff. But it is kind of weird. It is kind of weird in a lot of these cases.
Mhm.
But yeah, go ahead.
Um, yeah, need to actually look at like a Dragon Yakuza at some point. Knuckles, I know for a fact that that was not his show.
Yeah, man, I
They really
heard. Oh
did my
my
man
god,
dirty. They did my boy dirty and just
it focused
really.
on that other dude more than Knuckles.
So it's like
That's
even
why I
with
didn't
that,
even
it's just
bother with it.
they had like a little like drug trip thing where it's just like they explain like his history and shit. And I'm just like, okay, clever, but still
I
goofy as hell.
feel I feel like there's a show missing here or a movie missing here. I feel like there's something missing there for some reason. I just can't think of it.
Isn't isn't it always?
I feel like something's missing. And Arcane, didn't that just come out?
Yeah, season two just came out.
Yeah, I've heard people say that this is good. I've never watched it.
Same.
But
So
yeah,
Fallout's really the only
Fallout's
one I
probably
can
gonna win.
actually. Fallout's really the only one I can like actually speak on. So yeah, give
Like
it to
I
that,
had a
I
feeling
guess.
like if anyone was gonna be good, if any of these live action things was gonna be good, it would have to be this. Like it's Jonathan Nolan, man. That's Christopher Nolan brother. He did Person of Interest. I already knew that joint was gonna be hot.
So yeah. What's next?
Best action and adventure. We have Astrobot, which I'm confused
What?
why that's here. Prince of Persia. They closed down that studio. Silent Hill. Um, Star Wars Outlaws, and
Shocker.
The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. What is this category? What are these picks?
This is weird.
Why is Astrobot in this? Okay, why does he not have a platformer category? I feel like he
It
should have. This doesn't even like. As soon as I saw, because I watch live, it won't let me go back to the page. Hold up, but I I watched it showing live, and as soon as he announced Astrobot as one of the picks, I was just confused. I was like, why is this here? Why is this best action adventure game? If anything, I'm like, there were better picks for this category. Again, Grand Blue Fantasy could have been one of those picks. It could have been one of those picks. Prince of
I
Persia.
know.
I wanted to try that game. I heard it was good. Sad to hear that the studio closed down. We're still waiting on the remake for the Sands of Time. Silent Hill. That's a horror game. It's not really an adventure game.
It's action.
Sure. Um.
Hush.
Uh. Star Wars. So
Okay.
you have a lot more to say about that than
I
that.
can
So
give it I can somewhat give it to that considering like it is more of an adventure game. It does have sneaking elements to it and all that shit.
yeah, I mean this the only one I feel like that and Zelda. These two are the only ones I feel like. Okay, yeah, and Prince of Persia. I feel like these three deserve. These three cool. They deserve to be in the category. Well, I could say that they fit in the category, but I don't know why Astrobot's here. And I feel like if there was more horror games, then you could probably separate Silent Hill. But yeah, there are action elements to it, so sure. Um, yeah, I can't. As far as what I think should win, from what you I already knew about the a lot of the issues with Star Wars. Um, they're putting out a patch and everything, and there was a lot of issues with like the stealth and like how you can't like hold on to like one of your like the powerful guns you like pick up, and it doesn't seem like they really nailed what they were going for with like you can basically mess with different. Pretty much you can like how do I put this? Go to different like allegiances with different clans or whatever. Not clans, but you know what I'm talking about. You can explain it a lot
Yeah,
better than I
yeah,
can.
it really wasn't like fleshed out like as it should have been because you can kind of like almost have like good positivity like with all of the factions in the game too at some point if you do like a little
Yeah,
side shift
factions.
for
That was
them.
the word I was looking for. Say clans. Agree.
So I don't know. That being said, it's just it's like that could have been like fleshed out a little more. Like I feel like Outlaws could have been so much better than what it was. But for what it was just okay. I'm not. I still feel that way. It wasn't like the oh my god, it's shit. No, that's reserved for Veilguard. No, no, take that across the street.
Speaking
Take it to those.
speaking of,
Take it to those fuck nuggets across the street. Thank you.
so I God, I forgot to mention that in the RPG category. I was really expecting to see Veilguard here as not only a RPG pick, but also for Game of the Year. As much as the outlets were giving it nines and tens. I think it has like what does it have on Metacritic? I think it might have like an 87 or something like that. I know it might
Mm.
have something really high, but a lot of people in the industry were very high on it, praising it, even though the writing is terrible and stuff. But I was just surprised not to see it. I kind of wanted to see it up there just to see what would happen. I kind of just wanted to see
You,
it up there just for
I
that.
swear you've become a little forest like fire starter. I swear, man, in your older age, you've become more of a fire starter.
Hey man, I just look like if Elden Ring gets a bunch of awards and it's an Elden Ring sweep again. I'm really curious to see how the internet just lights on fire. I just want to see what's gonna happen. It's
At this point, I'm like, I don't care because this is more of a farce than it ever has been. Like, I think this is still like one of the worst like picks of games and shit that you could have ever done in like so long. I think this is really like the worst. So if a Elden Ring DLC sweep happens, I'm not gonna be shocked. I'm just gonna be rolling my eyes and being like, okay, I figured as much. Let's see what happens on Twitter. Oh, look, Twitter's burning down. Great, great,
okay.
great.
So there's one other category that I skipped earlier. I believe I skipped it. Best game direction. I think I did the best art direction last time. It's pretty much the same picks that were the game of the year picks, pretty much. Astrobot, Bautro, uh, Black Myth, uh, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy, and then Metaphor. And it says for outstanding creative vision, innovation in game direction, and design. What did Black Myth innovate? It was going off of the heels of pretty much FromSoft games. Pretty much. Yeah, it has like more boss rush type of stuff in there, and it doesn't. And I know this is one thing that people always bring up. Well, it's not a Souls game because you don't lose your souls as you die. It still has the same kind of combat, still the same kind of, still has the same DNA in there. But
Mm,
yeah, I don't. There's nothing innovative about Elden Ring either, because again, all it is a, and this would piss me off when it first came out, and people were praising it like it was something new. Oh, it's just Dark Souls with an open world, and now you have a horse and you can jump. That's it. That's freaking it.
mm.
Nothing new there. And Boutro is nothing but a poker game, but it's just roguelike. And then Astrobot is just a tech demo. It's a glorified tech demo. What are we doing here? Final Fantasy VII, what's innovative about that? For outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. I can't really speak to Final Fantasy. I can't really speak to that. But Metaphor, what I've seen of this gameplay loop, of this battle system, and how it's like you go and let's say you go into a dungeon and you have to go and it's like you have like 7 days to complete that dungeon or whatever, if I'm like remembering correctly. But basically they innovated on what, and I know they took a lot of what they've already been doing with the Persona series, but they also did their own thing with the archetype system and everything like that. Even though that is kind of a more expanded upon version of like classes and like traditional JRPGs. But if there's anything that's innovative up here, I'd say it was probably Metaphor, just based off of what I've seen from the outside looking in. Because even when I'm looking at Final Fantasy gameplay, I'm like it looked just like more of remake, which for some people that's good. But as far as best game direction, as far as what they're talking about with this, with the criteria of the category, there's only one thing that you can choose, and that's Metaphor. So like,
Yeah,
what is all of this?
I don't
If
know.
anything, best game direction, I feel like Plucky Squire should have been here. Cause that's a very different game. If you look it up,
Mm.
that's a very unique game. So I don't know why that's not here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I said, like these nominations are just like bad shit. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
And then I guess this would be the last one, unless you can think of another one here.
Nah, the
Um,
rest of these are just like nah.
yeah, like oh yeah, let's best content creator of the year. Every time he puts this on the screen, I'm like, who are these people?
I don't
Who
care.
are these people? And then you have a freaking what you call it? The VTuber. I'm like, who the heck is this? Who watches these people? I don't know who these people are.
He's
But then you got what was it? Most anticipated game, which I'm like, this is also a waste of a category. We know Grand Theft Auto 5 is gonna win. I'll,
6.
six. Excuse me.
Jesus.
Grand Theft Auto 6. We know that's gonna win. I'll be shocked if it doesn't win. Metroid Prime, I feel like the hype has kind of died for that. Well, not died, but like it died down because of how long it took in development, and then because of they had to restart because at first Retro wasn't even doing it, so they had to restart,
Oh
and
my
then
god, I
what
did find Veilguard. I did find Veilguard.
what they
Innovation of
nominated it for something.
innovation and accessibility.
Let me see. Where's that? Innovation. Where the heck is it? Best audio. Oh, innovation. Innovation and accessibility. Call of Duty. Diablo 4. Okay, here it is. Dragon Age. Well, they had to give it something.
Oh my god, not for the story, not for nothing. They had to put it somewhere, so they
Well,
said put it
hey,
in
at least they
innovation.
got they'll get something. Maybe.
Innovation.
Possibly.
Yeah, accessibility for innovation. Get the fuck out of here. That's funny. That's funny.
Then they have the best VR and AR game.
I
And
cannot
my,
believe
my
Arkham
brother was
Shadow is even
telling
on here.
me Asgard 2 was good. Yeah, I saw they gave that pretty good reviews. And then Batman Arkham Shadow, I think that's going to probably take it. Cause it's a new game and people have said it's good. So
Yeah, so my video on is null and void. Great.
what, you were just hoping for it? This sucks.
I was praying on for its downfall.
Why?
Absolutely.
Because you can't play it?
No, because I don't want to. VR gives me VR is just like
Oh, you've
no.
actually tried it?
It's I don't know how to do it. It's like headache inducing. I don't
Yeah, I
I
could have
it's
tried
like
my
I just
brother's when he got it last year. I was like, yeah, I don't want like it. Just I was watching my my nephew so quick. Well, not to get into anything else, but I'm just like, I saw him playing it and he just looking goofy playing it. I was like, nah, man.
not even that. It's just like the fact that like after Suicide Squad, like really, really this is like the next thing, and then it's just like oh, it's
Yeah,
good.
and I get it because Suicide Squad left a bad taste in people's mouth, and then people finally want people want to go back to Arkham, and then to find out that you need a $500 $600 headset to play a Arkham Adventures is kind of, for lack of a better word, demoralizing.
It sucks.
That too. But I guess the last category we see here is best sim and strategy. Kamitsugami, Frostpunk, Age of Mythology, Unicorn Overlord, and Manor Lords. I wish that Unicorn Overlord, like, I like the art style for like the actual character portraits and everything. I wish the actual game looked like that. The game itself, that art style looks ugly to me. Kamitsugami, I'm disappointed that this wasn't like. Why is it? I just looked at it when it first came out, and I was thinking like, why isn't this not Onimusha? Why aren't we getting another Onimusha, man? But
I
people
don't
said it
know.
was good though. But I have no thoughts on the rest of those. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it as far as stuff we care about. Nobody cares about the esports and all this other bull crap. Nobody cares. Nobody knows who these dudes are unless you actually like follow
I guess
the
best
crap like that.
performance, give it. The best performance, I say, give it to Luke Roberts, who was James Sunderland in Silent Hill 2. Give it to him because he fucking nailed it. Other than that, I don't really don't. It's
The
like,
only person I
uh,
would I would even be familiar with is the person from Hellblade 2. And I honestly forgot that came out this year. That game is
given how
very
like
disappointing.
it's wild, like the turnabout for that. It's just like, oh,
Like
I'm excited for
dude,
this, and then years later, it's just like, what the fuck was that?
I
Like, what?
they wasted their time in development with that. That this is like that's one of the games where I'm like, yeah, this the Xbox curse. I feel like, and I haven't said this on this channel before. I feel like Xbox is a cursed brand. We'll see with the Avowed. I know a lot of people have been capping for Avowed. Look, I love Obsidian. They have made my one of my favorite games of all time, Fallout New Vegas. But man, y'all better keep your
I'm
expectations
praying.
low. Keep your
I'm praying.
expectations real low.
I'm praying for a vote. I mean, but I do understand like why people say like that when it comes to like Xbox. Phil Spencer really has not like done it any favors, to be honest. Like someone needs to like take the helm from him already. Other than that, like I think that's it.
Yeah, so those were the nominees for the Game Awards. Go ahead and close us out.
Yeah. Other than that, we'll see y'all guys y'all after. Take care and be safe out there.
Yeah, peace.